girl. Do you know you can take half his money? Did you know you can take half his money? Did you know
It's called Eddie Murphy Raw, and this is the movie I've been waiting for ever since I heard about it, just after I saw and was disappointed by Beverly Hills Cop 2, because that was Eddie Murphy as a wind-up action toy. But Eddie Murphy Raw is Murphy as Murphy in concert with the rawest of language, and he's never been funnier. For example, he names names at the beginning of his concert, putting down hilariously Michael Jackson, and then he puts down Bill Cosby, even worse than Roger just did a while back, who Murphy tells us, Bill Cosby that is, Bill Cosby called Eddie Murphy one day and told him to clean up his stage act.
And I ran in the house all excited to talk to Bill and picked up the telephone, and Bill got raw on me. I was like, hello, Mr. Cosby? And you hear, I would like to talk to you about some of the things that you do in your show. Now, you cannot say filth, flarn, filth in front of people. And I said, I never said no filth, flarn, filth. He says, you know what I'm talking about. I can't use the type of language that you use, but you know what I mean when I say filth, flarn, filth. And I said, I never said no filth, flarn, filth, and I don't know what you're talking about. I'm offended that you called. F you.
Like some of the greatest confrontational comics around, Eddie Murphy isn't afraid of offending anyone, and he has a long and hilarious tirade against Johnny Carson's former wife and all wives who want half of their husband's wealth at divorce time.
If you have $5 and have to give somebody $250, you'd be upset. Johnny had to have at least $300 million and have to give up $150 million? And they weren't even married but 10 years and $150 million? Give me a break. What? And ladies, no, here's a woman over saying, right on. No, you can't, baby, that's not fair. Not no $150 million. I see a lot of you ladies sitting there going, get all the money you can. I'm glad she did get all that money. She earned it. She earned it. That you damn right. She was married to him. She deserved that money. Get the out of my face with that bull. No. Stop it.
There's not a lot more that we could show you of Eddie Murphy Raw without you hearing more bleeps than words. He's foul, but very funny, talking in brutally honest comedic terms about sex and marriage. The concert tails off at the end somewhat with a tired bit about how badly white people dance. Most of us know that. But more often than not, at least us two, more often than not, Eddie Murphy lives up to the concert film standard set by the man he calls his idol, Richard Pryor. And that is high praise indeed. I really liked Eddie Murphy Raw, and I knew that I would. He should release, I think, a concert film every year because the parts that are written for him, by and large, with the exception of 48 Hours, really haven't been that good.
Gene, I don't think this film deserves comparison to Richard Pryor in any way because what Richard Pryor has is insight and sympathy with the humanity of the people that he's making fun of. And that's the one thing that's lacking in this concert film by Eddie Murphy. It's an extremely juvenile film. The humor is extremely callow. You talk about his attack on Johnny Carson's wife. I don't believe anybody could get away with talking about blacks the way that Eddie Murphy talks about women in this film. On the basis of what he says in this film and the way he uses the key four-letter word as a club, this movie hates and despises and puts down and rejects women and sees them only in terms of their sexual function.
Not at all.
Yes,
not at all.
it does.
No, let me answer. Let me answer, because the film comes around and goes right back and throws it back at men. Yes, it is more loaded against women than it is against men, but Roger, where is your sense of humor?
It doesn't,
the man is not.
The
man is not.
And throw it at men either.
Yes, it does.
Sees everybody in terms of what takes place right between their belt and their knees.
That's
the only part of the human being that he's interested in.
He
doesn't have any interest at all in their personalities, in their problems, in their humanity.
One of their problems
is bathroom humor, Gene.
And it's very funny.
Humor.
It's very funny.
It's not that. If you think it's funny, then maybe you need to grow up along with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Roger,
you can both go to Richard Pryor and learn how to be a little more mature.
No, let me tell you, it is very, very funny. Oddly, people who haven't seen this film are going to agree, gee, Roger's right, it should be clean, it should be clean.
No, I
you
didn't
really
say
played
it should
to the
be
audience.
clean. I'm not playing to the audience, and I'm not saying it should be clean. I have nothing against four-letter language. I love it when Richard Pryor uses it. Richard Pryor uses it as poetry. Eddie Murphy uses it as a bludgeon.
Okay, I disagree with you. I think Richard Pryor is a genius. I think Eddie Murphy is getting there.
Split on Eddie Murphy Raw, which I thought was raw all right, but not inspired. Thumbs down for me. Gene, however, really liked the film and gives it thumbs up.
And I liked Eddie Murphy's bathroom humor that you didn't like.